Yes, students, moving to our last and final topic of this chapter number 4, that is effect of catalyst on rate of reaction and collision theory. Okay, so till now we have seen that the major components which are affecting rate of reaction are concentration of reactants, temperature, and now we are going to see the effect of catalyst on rate of reaction. Okay, so rate is also proportional, or it is also depending on catalyst. So we are going to study how this is dependence. We have already seen that concentration of reactant is depending, okay, temperature how it is depending, and now we are going to see catalyst how it is depending upon the rate of reaction, or the rate of reaction is also depended on catalyst. So now till now we have seen like what we know about catalyst. We have studied that catalyst accelerates the process of reaction, right? Till now we have studied that much only in our lower classes, but now actually we have to say that catalyst is a substance which may increase the reaction definitely, but it can be in the forward direction or in the backward direction. Okay, that means it may make the process fast, or it may also be used to make the process very slow. So we know that reactant A is to be converted into the product B. Okay, so few of the catalyst which can be added will make the reaction faster, means it will help to convert reactant into product very fast. At another point, catalysts are also such which may decrease the rate of reaction, means it will make the process slow. It will make the process slow. Okay, so there are as basically two types of catalyst. We can say catalyst can also retard the rate of reaction, and it can enhance the rate of reaction. That is it can increase the rate of reaction, or it can slow down the rate of reaction. So we are having two types of catalyst, that is positive catalyst and negative catalyst. Okay, so positive catalysts are those which increases the rate of reaction, or increases the rate of chemical reaction. It is not consumed by the reaction, means what? This catalyst is participating, right, to convert reactant into product, but it is not converted, I mean it is not utilized by that in order of the conversion. It is not consumed, it is not going to react, it is just going to accelerate, right? That we already know. Does not change the equilibrium constant for the reaction. It is only making the process faster. Okay, it is not going to change the equilibrium constant of the reaction, that is K. Okay, so what does this means? That positive catalyst, if a reaction is going to occur in 10 minutes, that is reactant A is going to be converted into product, okay, and it takes 10 minutes without using the catalyst. Okay, and if we are using the catalyst, then it is only going to take 5 minutes, for example, right? So this is nothing but positive catalyst which accelerates the process in the forward direction, or we can say that which increases the rate of reaction. So in other words, we can say that a catalyst shortens the time required to establish the equilibrium, but does not affect the final position of the equilibrium. Means it will reduce the time taken by the process, but it is not going to change the final position of the equilibrium. Okay, so lastly, the last point says that small quantity of the catalyst can catalyze a large quantity of the reactants, since it is not consumed during the reaction and can be used again and again. Means what? If though we are using a very small amount of catalyst in a reaction, then also it is going to increase our rate of reaction. Okay, and this catalyst, as we told, that it is not consumed by the reaction. Okay, so it is not participating directly, it is just accelerating it, right? And thus, as it is not participating, it can be reused, it can be used again and again. So let us understand this point by taking one of the example. This example we already know, right? This is nothing but reduction, right? Double bond will be breaking down into the single bond, right? So here we are having ethene. You already know the formula of ethene, right? That is CH2 double bond CH2, right? And when the reduction is carried out means hydrogen is passed in presence of nickel. Now here I said in presence of nickel, right? So we know that nickel acts as our catalyst, right? So as we have already studied in 11th standard, what will happen? This double bond will break down, one hydrogen will go towards this and one hydrogen will go towards this carbon, right? And ultimately we are getting what? Ethane. So we have already seen this reaction. Okay, so now let us understand what does this catalyst do in this type of reaction. Okay, so basically when we consider this reaction, we see that catalyst, here we are seeing that without catalyst only product is obtained, but it is very less. I mean with that same time it is less, and here we see that more of the product is obtained. Okay, this means that catalyst increase the rate of reaction by providing a new mechanism that has a lower energy, lower activation energy. In a short time only it is getting activated. So here you see the first graph is nothing, this red line shows the graph of energy, potential energy required when it is without catalyst. So you see that it is requiring more energy and thus it is going to take more time. But if we are using the catalyst, so you will see here that it is acquiring less energy, and that's why it is said that new mechanism is set off which has lower activation energy. Okay, and thus it increases the rate of reaction. So now let us study with that our example, that here we are having what catalyst? This is a nickel catalyst. You need to remember that how much area is more, the process will be more faster. Okay, so this is our catalyst. Now this catalyst will be affecting our substance, that is H2. Okay, so H2 molecule, when it is coming and reacting, we can say, but actually it is not reacting, it is just absorbing over here. So we are having H single bond H, okay, and it is having a minor bond with nickel, okay, which is not exactly our reactant, but it is just supporting, right? So here what you see, there is a bond which is formed here. Initially it was a bond between H and H, right? So this bond is broken down and there is a chemical bond which is formed between nickel, which is our catalyst, and our hydrogen atoms. Okay, so hydrogen bond is broken down and hydrogen nickel bond is formed. Now this will be acquiring an energy, that is activation energy, with the help of nickel, and here you see that highly energetic activated complex. Now this is very energetic, highly energetic complex formation. Okay, this nickel, when it is connected with hydrogen, it becomes highly energetic activated complex. This is a complex structure and it is activated. Activated means ready to react. And thus that activated system, that is, it will be moving towards our carbon, right? So here you see that carbon double bond was that, but this is now highly activated. So this hydrogen, when it is bombarded, right, you can say, you can remember this in a form of like activation. Highly activated means whenever we have to bombard something, then we are preparing lots of fuel and everything we are getting, and lots of pressure we need to apply, right? So at that time what we can say, if we have to launch a rocket, at that time what we have, we are having lots of amount of energy, right? So it is more activated, and then we bombard it, right? So same thing happens something over here. Thus this complex is highly activated, which is liberating hydrogen atom towards our carbon. So now as this is more activated, so this activated hydrogens will be reacting with carbon and carbon, and as you see over here, if it is reacting over here, so we know that the valency of the carbon is 4, right? So as these hydrogens are more activated, it is definitely going to form a bond between, it is going to form a bond with these carbons, right? So ultimately what will happen, so valency will become 5, which is not possible. That's why the bond between carbon and carbon, as with they were double bonded, it will become single bonded, and the bond will be formed between carbon and hydrogen, and ultimately we are getting our product, that is ethane. Okay, clear? Now in this way we can say that the catalyst increases the rate of reaction. Now let us see all about the collision theory of the chemical reaction. So this collision theory, actually we have already studied lots about it, which was given by Max Storz and William Lewis in 1916 and 1918 respectively. So let us see that how chemical reaction occurs, that is with the help of collision theory. So we have already studied that collision theory will be more effective when we see that this is less effective, means we know that in collision theory that two atoms will be combining with each other, but here the same atom are combining, right? So it is not effective collision. But if we are reacting, that is collision is happening between A and B, that is two different reactants, it will be more effective. Okay, so when we are having an effective collision, at that time we see more of the product will be obtained, right? Like for example over here we are taking ethyl bromide reacting with hydroxide ion, right? So actually there are two possibilities of the orientation, so but this is one is improper one. So here what happens, here we are losing the hydrogen electrons, but finally we are not getting the product, right? So basically here if we see, here what we are seeing, this Br minus will be lost and OH will be attached over here, right? But scientifically it is not possible. So here we see a proper transition state, that in carbon, first of all what will happen, carbonization will take place, carbon in the excited state it will be there, and that's why we are having 5 bonds over here. But here also you can see these two bonds, opposite bonds, that is carbon and bromine, and carbon and hydroxyl are not in a stable form, right? And ultimately what will happen, Br will be lost and OH is attaching, right? So in this way our final product is obtained, right? So according to the collision theory, if A and B are the reactant which is going to give the product, then rate constant K is equals to ZAB into E raised to minus EA upon RT, that we have already studied. Now what is this ZAB? ZAB is collision frequency of reactant A and B, that is collision, how much, with what frequency these two reactant are going to collide with each other. This factor you already know, this fraction is nothing but the fraction of mole with activation energy greater than EA. If this is not greater than EA, then definitely there will be no conversion, no activation and no formation of the product will take place, right? So in order to calculate a proper collision, that is how much the collision is taking place, and another constant P is introduced, collision between molecules with a proper orientation, right? And thus for the proper orientation another constant term P is being initiated, and that's why our reaction becomes K is equals to P ZAB e raised to minus AB upon RT. Rest of the things remains as it is. Okay, so now the rate of reaction, as we have seen how it becomes faster, it will be faster only when a proper amount of collision is taking place, right? So that is, this is also conducted by the activation of energy. So activation, if there is a proper amount of activation of energy, then there will be a proper effective collision, there will be a proper effective collision, and if there is a proper effective collision, then definitely there will be a greater rate of chemical reaction. So from this we can say that what, this activation of energy depends on nothing but our catalyst. So if catalyst is used, then definitely a good amount of activation energy is obtained. So if there is good amount of activation of energy, then definitely our collision will be effective, and if collision is effective, definitely the rate of reaction is going to be more effective. Understood? So here this was a very small topic which we had to cover today, that is the effect of a catalyst on rate of reaction and collision theory. Okay, so here we come to an end of our chapter also, that is chapter number 4. I hope you are going through this again and again, recalling these notes, and start preparing the assignments for the same. We have completed 4 chapters till now, and I hope that you all are going through this chapter very frequently to understand it in a more better way. Thank you.